showtime.
Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock100. Welcome back to more of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Blind. Last time, we got him through the, first phase of the trial. And now we're in pretty much at the, what apparently is considered to be the trial ladder. And we're pretty much just seeing our friend here being all mopey. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up on the bottom of a lake and about to reach the surface? But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. So today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Suppose something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say who show a red cloth to a bull will fire up its temper. What's what they tell me when I was a youngin', at least? Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come and take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. Got the place locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen in these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough to worry? Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people's compadre? You could be worrying about the chief's prosecutors tasting their mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with the scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all. I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So Miss Starro wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with the fine ribs. Ooh-wee! I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Ah! Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. For a bro, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be! This can't happen! I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Oh then, I believe it's time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Huh? Who's there? this guy? Strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. I have to say, I love your glasses, dude. Hey! The temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you! Sorry I'm late, Edgy. The road were packed. It's just me. Long time no see ya, Edgy. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smeezy, Edgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Edgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha! So you're Wright, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Well, shit. There's Gun, Damon-Gant. Damon-Gant? Damon-Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, isn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at our poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So I wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, this guy really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe! On little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchable blade. Quite perplexing, this. Objection! Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigation are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuse. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Uh-oh. Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake in that signature. Miles Edgeworth? That's no fair. The day of the crime, I had... You had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defendants a favor first. Yes. Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at that blade in this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me? I wonder. Yes. Well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gravel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at the people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. You like it? I'm not even... Okay. I've seen these before. So we'll just zoom in like this. then there's that. Ah! Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared! Look at the knife blade! The tip is broken off! And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade. Added to the court record. Great! Now we have potential... Wait a minute. There were 2 murders! I remember from the beginning of the opening sequence of Rise of the Ashes, there was a double murder. Although this one seems to me to be older. Slightly older. I could tell because the blade seems to be darker and has become more dry. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police? And this knife? Sure thing! Not a problem, not even a little one, really. He seems to be in a very cheerful mood. I actually kind of like this guy. This knife is special, but I can't say how or where. How here? Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:18. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, OG. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! Anyway, we at the department, we're all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay. So let's see here. Something special. Okay, good. We got our penalties reset. So you won't see for why, and I won't question on that one. There's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes a connection to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department that I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links the knife to Detective Goodman. Because the pieces are falling into place. If you try presenting the piece of evidence, that's hard to someone's time. So how were things down at the department? We weren't in any shape for investigation. See if he can at least identify for us. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, OG? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Ooh, good one! This gets sharp! Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing, and one thing only. I'd like to know for where the victim was found. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room. You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Righto? I can't say I've heard of it. Guess I should ask again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room. There's something stranger about this than the place where the body was found. So I can't talk much about it. Two detectives were killed at 5 into one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. A knife. What was it doing there? Better check this knife out. This one I'm curious about because... Let's see here. Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound. Doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's something about this that I need to explain. Victim's note. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Ah! Of course! It was from the location of the scene of the crime! Objection!
Objection!
Wait a second! Ah! At last! An honest-to-goodness objection! This knife, that has to have something to do with the Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Ah! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. If this is important, why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minutes, 7 seconds. December the 2nd. Maybe there was a time difference? Your Honor, it's upside down. Huh? Upside... The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's the right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get? Oh! Balls! Aha! I didn't think about that! February 21st, SL9. Clever! When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SO9. That's the same thing that is written on this knife's tag! Order! Order! Well, Chief? Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto! I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. You mentioned this from before, but where the body was found, that was in the evidence room. I want to ask him about this. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice! Good show, little worthy! It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe in Edward's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. So ask me about this one. Something didn't happen at the police department too, did it? You got a good look in your eyes there, Ryder, my boy. Sharp, hungry. Chief, did something happen? And why wasn't I heard? Why haven't you heard? Or why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with that Lana case at all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? Okay, so we've seen this one before. But I wonder. We know how the victim was killed and when the victim died. And I know I asked this one earlier. Oh. So wait a second. This was found. Evidence. Yes, this is new. Did he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gann to testify about the details. None officially linked in this case, so I can't talk much about it. Did we do this one already? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say! Well, out with it, Righto! What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection isn't in a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen. From the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. He's giving us that look again. And I don't like... You two make a good player. It took my men 2 days to find out when you did this right here. Chief, I request that you release your information to the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information? Unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Okay. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Well, I guess I might have to try to get what I can out of him. We have the victim's ID number. Okay. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't get getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Wait a minute. If I wrote this down correctly, yes! It is him! Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts! 8, 2... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? I didn't know the victim of the police department. Yes, it does! Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning... It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You see the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something. What does it tell you? Quite simple. We want the ID of the Goodman's badge. Take that! Take that! Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on a prom night. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. Police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh-ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto! Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait! That ID number we heard from the chief earlier! That started with 82. I've forgotten. He even got the first number wrong. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as attack, Righto! Sharp as attack! But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at fire pitching at the underground parking lot. Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible! So what you're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? I think someone was trying to steal someone else's evidence. Their ID. But order! Chief, what does this mean? No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait! I said wait! Or didn't you hear me? Huh? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare! We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Oh, I remember this. You should have accepted those, buddy. Officer Meekins. Mr. Wright. Where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere in the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him! According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report? Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me! He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident! Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Yeah! But why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He didn't seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? Oh. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No! No! Oops. It seems you've come to the end of this trial. You're becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There have been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Okie dokie. This took less time than I thought it would. Because I probably could have combined it in the last one, but... Okay, to be fair, it said to be continued. We had to go for the save point from there, and I think that was a good place to stop it anyway. So, but... I think, with all that said and done, we're going to end things off right here. Next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we begin our second day of investigation. And hopefully we don't have to step in any blood while we're at it. See you guys then.
Yeah.